Okay, so this is our last chapter, and this is all assembly drawings. Alright, so here you have to learn what's in your assembly drawing, and in the assembly drawing we usually give the standard parts sheet, right? It's just a table that we put in the drawing, nothing very special about it. So since it's assembly drawing, it's going to show, like how all of your parts fit together to make, this is not a machine, to make a model that you're building, okay? And your part sheets is just communicating, the people who are going to manufacture that model or machine or device or whatever, what to buy, So it's sometimes we call it purchase sheet, okay? So that's this standard part table contains all of your items, to buy. Sometimes, even though we call it purchase, sometimes you manufacture the parts, sometimes you get the parts from different vendors and then put them all together. So it depends on what type of manufacturer you're dealing with, okay? Sometimes they manufacture on site, and sometimes they order from other factories, for the parts that they need to put them all together. Okay, assembly drawing is what's showing the entire drawing of your system or machine or model. This is just because I think she's referring to the engineering field, since your program is only for the application. CAD's a program. It can be, we usually call it a model. A model usually has different parts, and we put them all together. Anyways, if you're in engineering, just most of the models are mechanics, so machines related to, and of course functions are very important based on mechanics and physics. And other stuff are also, you can also use a regular model, to build. Anyways, whether that's the model or machine, we can call it a model or system. You can be able to see all the components all together in that assembly drawing. So it's very important you to do this assembly drawing so that we know, how many components or parts are in there in your product. Also, you gotta know how to put them all together. So this sheet is going to communicate with other people how to put this system together, and how many parts are involved in it. Then we gotta know your assembly drawing is going to show the size of it. Your assembly drawing is going to concentrate, how many parts are in there and what they are, instead of showing the size. So not very dimension wise, it's just going to locate the parts. Basically it's going to show you what components are in your system, more than going into details of the dimensions. For the size, of course, we have already done it. Like in the earlier chapters, for dimensions, we usually do the detailed drawings, and where we show all of our projections, your ortho, and also, and put in all the values of your dimensions. So that's your detailed drawings. Is going to take care of the size. Your assembly drawing is going to take care of all the parts. So sub-assemblies are, you have the entire system, and you also have the subsystems in the system, and the subsystem contain the subcomponents. So you have two or more parts gonna form a portion of your assembly, and we call that the sub-assembly, because you have to put them together first before you put the entire assembly. The working drawing package is just a drawing. Again, it's going to give you, very important thing is your specification, your values, of course, your tolerance, everything that you need to manufacture that design or system. So what's in your working drawing package? You've got your assembly drawing, you've got your detail with your dimensions in it, and then you have your standard part sheets. again, what's in your standard parts, so that's for the purchase items, right, are in there. Okay, so how are we going to arrange them, organize them? We're going to organize by the very first sheet, right? In your drawing is a package of the sheet. The very first one is assembly drawing sheet. The second one is part number 1, part number 2, so and so on, all the way to the end of the entire system, all the parts. This dot 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 means all the parts in that assembly or in that system, and then you're going to end it up with your part sheets. And most of the time you're going to see that people don't say standard part sheet because it's just so long to talk about it. We just say like the part sheets, okay? So when you encounter people talking parts sheet, then that's your standard parts sheet. Okay, so the draw usually is one view, but then sometimes you might have to put in front, top, and right side view. Depends on what you're dealing with, your system. Because our major a major point here for doing the assembly drawing is to show the components. So sometimes one view can show all the components. Sometimes you need to put in 1 or 2 or 3 views to locate all the parts in the system. So it depends on your system how big it is. Then part identification. We usually identify the part by making a circle or balloon, and you put a fine number because you have to describe what that circle or balloon that you're dealing with in your drawing, and of course give a leader line, to the point, so to the corresponding part, so you know what part you're dealing with. In your identification, it's pretty easy. Identification, go ahead and identify by circling or ballooning, and then you're going to put the number, and then you're going to put a leader line to show that part. Alright, so let's see what we're going to do all of that. So here's a big picture and here's a drawing. Everything else is the same right there, and the only thing that's new is your assembly right here, and then here is your parts lists. So when we identify the part, we put the little number right there, balloon it or circle it, and then give a leader line and show what the part is that you're identifying. So here the part number 1 is this one, part number 2 is this one, and then part number 3 is that one over there. And of course, these are the views, 1, 2, 3 views that we're using for the entire assembly. Okay? Not that bad, right? And don't worry about the entire page that's automatically in your application. Yes, you only have to draw and then drag it in. Okay. SolidWorks even easier. Alright. Section views, we have already studied section views, and you know all the lines. You know the different patterns of the line, depends on the material type you are having, and we use them when you draw the assemblies, as well, instead of just our regular views. So because you have some parts fitting into or overlapping other parts, so sometimes you gotta section it to show where these parts are inside. So section views are as a way for you to be able to see inside of the system, so you can see the assembly very clearly and what's in it. Again, assembly drawing is to show your components. This is your partlets, and here is your ballooning. Okay, just titling what the parts are. So part 1, 2, and 3. And here again are your views of the assembly, which is the same thing, but this time we're stressing on the inside view, which is your section views right there, so we can see inside. Section lines, of course, we always use it, and with section lines, I'm going to show the adjacent parts drawn together, in opposite directions. So I'm going to go back so you can see the section lines right there, section lines right here. Review for your section line. So largest area section line, we're going to draw 45 degree. If it is larger, you will go 135 degree. And take out minus 45. Additional area, go 30, 60. Don't worry too much about it right now. You're going to encounter each one of them. Most of the time we just use a 45 degree section lines, because in this textbook you're not dealing with a very, very big area anyway. So most of the parts in the system in this textbook, so you can usually go with 45, and we don't ever have to use a bigger angles. So what it's talking about depends on the size of the area you're going to deal with, the different angles of the section lines, and also small areas, of course, reduce your lines angles. Yeah. So some people don't care about, all they do is just in your classes at university or college, just all you do is just draw the line like that and be done with it. But then again, the lines, okay, they're very different. Depends on the size of the area, your lines angle. You know, here are the angles. Yeah, and just measure against the um, a parallel line, and you gotta be be sure you know what type of angle you're using depends on the areas of the parts that you're dealing with. Okay, they're not the same, so just pay attention to these little things that you can't miss. All right, then we'll get into the first exercise, is talking about the section lines and assemblies. So the section lines are how we gonna draw that. So in order for us to show two separate parts, yeah, in your assembly, section lines are going to be drawn in opposite direction. So when you read that, you don't understand. So here, it's two separate parts. Part number one, part number two, they're different parts. So therefore, we draw the section lines. Look at that, different. Okay, this is that way, and this is that way, opposite way. Yeah. So that's what it's talking about when you read it. Okay, so it's asking, oh, what angle are the section lines usually drawn? At in the largest areas we already learned right here, 45, go 45. Okay, then we go, what angles are the section line usually drawn at in the second largest area. Yeah, so second largest area is going to be minus 45 or 135. So we go the minus of 45 degrees. Okay, minus 45 degree is 135 degree anyways. It's going at one it's kind of like a 90, right, and then minus 90 on the opposite side of it. That's what we're talking about. As the second exercise is going to ask you to fill in the section lines in this diagram. So we're going to fill that in. So we go bang, 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 bang. Yeah. So it is in the largest area. Largest area, we will go 45 degree. Yeah. So here is the same thing. I'm going to show you again largest area. So we go 45 degree very neatly. Yeah. All right, done with the exercise. You know what's included in assembly drawing. So when you decide what to include in your assembly drawing, yeah, we gotta know that our purpose is to show, how the all of your parts fit together. So it's not used as your manufacturing or for the machine people, right, on the shop floor. So you're not doing the communication of the values at all. We're just showing how the parts fit together in the assembly drawing. So, and so in that drawing, yeah, we're not gonna put like a very cluttered, right, way of detailed drawing at all. Yeah, it's gotta be very clear and show all the components in the system, and that's all. Yeah, what we need to do in that assembly drawing. So the most important thing is to know that assembly drawing is not a detailed drawing, so therefore you can leave out all of the detailed drawings, like dimensions, all kinds of values need to be left out. Yeah, so this is what's saying. Oh, some lines that are necessary in a detailed drawing, you can leave them out in assembly drawing to make the drawing look clear. Okay. Otherwise, if you put all kinds of dimensions, it'll be so cluttered. Yeah. So clear lines, visible lines. What am I saying? Clear lines. Oh my gosh. Visible lines and hidden lines. That depends. Yeah. So hidden lines. It depends on what you want to do. Yeah. You can use them like if you need clarity. Okay. You can leave them out. Yeah, if your assembly is saying everything is supposed to be saying, all the components. Yeah. Um, so it depends on how complicated your system is. You can leave or you can show the hidden lines. Our point is don't clutter. Okay, your key point is do not clutter. Include all the components. Yeah, but don't make it messy. That's all. So leave all the hidden lines out if your components are going to clutter or messy. Yeah, as long as you show all components in your assembly drawing, you are okay. So one way to take it is if you have like a section views to show the inside, yeah, of your system, and you need to show it because your component cannot be shown or cannot be seen from the outside. You show inside by using the section lines. At that time, you can leave the hidden lines out, yeah, because it's just so cluttered with hidden lines, the section lines. Oh my gosh, yeah, it is so messy. Okay. Dimensions, you don't need it, yeah. So dimensions are not given in your assembly drawing, so that's only for the detailed drawings. If your dimensions are given, again, it's you only give the dimension if it's so necessary, to clarify the function of that system or model. That's about it, and it's rarely used, by the way. Okay. Then we'll get into our exercise here, So we'll do the entire drawing package, what's in it. Yeah, I've already shown you the list of it, starting from the assembly, drawing sheet, and then followed by all the parts, and then ended with the part list. So therefore, you're gonna have the whole thing. Let's see one by one. And so here is a little review. So how many sheets will be contained in our working drawing package? So we are going to all right, look at the parts, right? So how many parts we have? So 1, 2, and then 3. So how many parts? Well, we need to draw. So we have 3 parts, 1, and then 2, and then 3 right there. Okay. So since we need the 3 parts, how many sheets do we need? So 3. So for part, we need 3 sheets. We have a part list, so that's a 4, and then we have the very beginning assembly. Okay, so that's a 5. So 5 sheets you need. Okay. Then what sheet number is your part number 1? So first assembly drawing is the first sheet. Okay, so therefore sheet number 1. The second sheet is your part number 1. Right. The third sheet is your part number 2. Part number 3 is your fourth sheet, and the fifth sheet is your part list. Okay, so that's pretty easy to write everything down in there. And then they want you to develop, what is this? Well, this is just a continuation of the same problem. Okay, I just trying to tell you, when you develop an idea of your design concept, you have to think about sketching it. So when you sketch it, you usually put all of your assembly. Yeah, so that's what you do. But then once you finish your design, you ready to draw, you usually use an application because it's easier for us to organize or memorize, right? All the things that we draw. If you draw only one thing, it's okay by hand. But if you draw so many for a living, then you need computer, or a software application. So the assembly drawing is usually completed, right? Not like in the design intent phase. Your assembly drawing, we do it at the end. Okay. So, and that's because it's a different process. Yeah, the first process is designing. The second process is doing the real detailed drawings, and then ended up with the entire assembly drawing at the end. Okay, so the process reverse. And the assembly drawing is what we do is we put all the parts together and showing all the drawn parts put together in the drawing. Okay, so let's take a look at our problem. So our problem, first, this is your sheet. We're going to look at the figures. This is from your book. Okay, so go to your book for reference, and then first you have to show the parts with your balloon, and then you're going to fill the part list, okay, right here, and then you're going to fill the title blocks of that. So you have this, which is this model. I can just copy out here and then stick it there for you, so you kind of get it. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here for you to see, so that is that, this little circle is that, and then that one is this right there. So you have a two view, the front and then the top view right there. That doesn't look like a top view to me. It looks like pretty much like the bottom view. So anyways, so let's see. we are going to put them all together. Yeah. So first, identify the part 1, 2, and we have 3 here. Yeah. There's another one right there, little one right there. Yeah. Right here that we can't even see. Yeah. From this view, see, we can't even see the. So we're showing there's a little actually 4 of them in there. Yeah. That's kind of because there's a little pin, and then there's a little ring. So they're putting the ring right here. So what I would do is you might want to, yes, you might want to answer, going back here, this, because at that time I didn't see it. So anyways, change it to 6, yeah, and then part number 1 is 2, 1. Of course, there are 5 instead of 5, since we are 4 parts right here is going to be, but I think you can fuse it, okay, fuse that 2 part at the end. Yeah, before we change it, we can, yeah, maybe I think fusing altogether. That's why the answer is. Anyways, we don't wanna yes, get rid of the author's discretion right there. So anyways, if you can go either 4 parts, right, or fuse that too, because they're all the same anyway in this systems. Okay, so let's all continue to do that. So then we write down the parts, find number me the balloons, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put it there, and then we're gonna count the quantity. So each one of them you need only 1. Of course, the little, right, the snap ring you need on both sides. Yeah, therefore there are 2 of them. Of course, part number is going to come from your part list that will be given to you, so don't worry about it. It will come to you, yeah, to your table, and all you have to just stick it in there. And then of course their former name and then the material. So this 3 table will be given to you, yeah. And you never need to worry about it. All you have to just worry about your drawing and put the information all together in your part list table up there. Alright, then we're going to draw the first part. So the very first part is this one. So when you go there, balloon, this one, yeah. So we're going to draw that one in 1, 2, 3 views, yeah. So here we put the necessary information of that. Since we're doing the part, yeah, we would draw the detailed drawing. This is just assembly, so you don't need the details, yeah. Here, detailed drawings for the first part. Then we're going to have a detailed drawing for the second part, yeah. And we're gonna do the second part, right? Detailed drawing for the second part. Detailed drawing is nothing but putting all the dimension. You will get the dimension from your design, yeah, a sheet. You only have to draw. You don't have to worry about the dimension because you're drawing the dimensions anyway, yeah. Even though at school we teach you how you as a designer, you as a drafter. In real work, you are only the drafter. Depends on the job that you're getting. Sometimes you're going to get into the research and development, and you will be the designer. Yeah. So which role you're going to get, I don't know. In very small company, you have to do both of them. Yeah, because they don't want to hire 2 people, so they just make you do both of them. So it depends on where you want to go. And then we're going to draw the part number 3. Yes. Part number 3, all of it. Okay, this is where the ring is. So I believe she is leaving out the part number 4. Okay, so and then the last one we will just finish with the standard part list. Okay. So standard parts list is this one, yeah. So in there we leave out this ring right here. So we are going to put that into there, okay. The very first table that we have here, yeah, parts list right there, and this table is the one standard part, okay, standard parts list right there. And I'm going to go back to the very beginning of this, right, when we started it. Don't forget the standard part sheets at the end, and it's going to show you the purchase items, yeah, which you don't really have to include in your drawing. Because we got a confusion right here because the problem didn't mention which one is a purchase one right here. Yeah, they're supposed to be mentioned that. That's why we have a confusion when we start drawing it. Oh, whether do we need to get this part. And also it's not very good. A textbook didn't really mention that. Anyway, so if she mentioned, oh, that's the one for the purchase, then we don't really have to write it here actually, but that's okay. This is your parts list, and then we draw the three major parts, and then we're gonna list the one that we purchased, which is your number 4. Okay, so that's the end of this chapter. This is a very small chapter, by the way.